Tonight on CTV News, we mark the 4th anniversary of the 7.1 magnitude earthquake as the local mayors reflect on the past 4 years and we take a look at the central city's progress. This is CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. Today marks 4 years since the 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck Canterbury, destroying homes and ripping the ground to pieces. Here's a look at what's happened in the past 4 years.
Before September 4th, most Cantabrians didn't understand the term liquefaction or hadn't even felt an earthquake. The 7.1 magnitude tremor that struck at 4:35 a.m. was the first of more than 11,000 quakes. Injuring hundreds, it changed the look of Canterbury and the lives of its residents. Since then, Christchurch's population has dropped by almost 7,000 people. 87% of homes have been repaired. That's almost 70,000 local homes suffering structural damage following the quake. Insurance woes have led the recovery. Tim Grafton, the Chief Executive for the Insurance Council of New Zealand, predicts it will be another 2 years before all residential claims are settled.
Oh, look, 4 years is too long for anybody who's unsettled at the moment, but the reality is with all the hindsight in the world, this recovery couldn't have been much quicker than it's been.
February 22nd caused the most significant damage in Canterbury, but September 4th sparked the largest series of events.
I guess what was unusual about this was the whole earthquake sequence. Most people think globally when you have an earthquake happen as one event. Here we've had something in the order of 12,000 shakes. 56 of them over magnitude 5 and 4 or 5 really big ones as well. So it's just been ongoing shaking for the best part of a year and a half.
Earthquake Recovery Minister Jerry Brownlee today has slammed the Labour Party for their dishonesty over earthquake insurance claims. Minister Brownlee says claims that 10,000 Christchurch property owners are in limbo are an outrageous exaggeration. Minister Brownlee says of the 170,000 residential claims, around 900 don't have an offer from a private insurer and over 3,000 are working with EQC. Mr Grafton, aware of the bad rap the insurance companies have received in the public eye in the past 4 years.
At times you feel that you haven't had fair coverage, but perfectly understandable. I mean, we have logic and reason to put forward against a weight of emotion that people who are traumatised, people who are waiting to get their homes fixed up, you can never, win that argument in the media because emotion will always beat rationality. But that's the way it is.
The 2010 quake hit the McAdory District the hardest.
The biggest area is this northeast Canterbury area, and some of the fringe areas have suffered some flooding partly because they've dropped as a result of the earthquake. Another significant area is here in what's usually known as Courtney Drive area, but quite important areas on either side of the Canterbury town centre. So that's why we've really got to look at each area separately.
This visionarium in the centre of Kaipoi, allowing the community to share their ideas as part of Sarah's Canvas campaign.
I think it's marvellous. I've never seen it from the air before. It's lovely, so you can't tell what it's like walking around.
What do you guys want to see in the red zone?
I would like to see a track for bikers or an adventure playground where you can just go and do stuff. A forest themed go-kart track.
4 years on and the region is showing signs of progress as it rebuilds and recovers from the event which took place 4 years ago. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Mayor David Ayres took over the reins at the McAdory District Council before the September the 4th earthquake hit. Emma Cropper spoke to the Mayor about how far the district has come in the past 4 years.
He's been the man leading one of the fastest growing districts in Canterbury. McAdory District Mayor David Ayres put his name forward before the quake even hit.
It's been an interesting time. I've enjoyed it, but it's when I put my name forward, I didn't know that an earthquake was going to happen, and when the September quake happened, the nominations had closed, and a month later I found myself mayor.
Over the past 4 years, Rangiора's town centre has transformed into a market of portacom businesses and barricades, as local shops are closed and demolished due to weak structures.
Well, it's been a roller coaster ride for many people, and there's still people with a lot of working through issues, but I think we're making progress.
Rangiora's Farmers has been a symbol of the earthquake's effect in the town. It's been locked behind gates in the centre of Rangiora and locked within insurance battles. A major blow for the region, this Facebook page generating more than 1,000 likes in support of bringing the department store back to town. Only weeks ago, the building finally made progress and was demolished.
The insurance lockups that have occurred have been very frustrating for locals, and they're not over. We've got other buildings in our district that are still not got their insurance settled, and it has taken far too long.
But while the centre of its towns is undergoing transformation, the area has been flooded by Christchurch residents, not wanting to turn their back on Canterbury and relocating into the district.
I think we dealt with it pretty well. Certainly in the building consenting area, we've certainly been up with the play. I think we need to remember that we lost 1,000 houses in Kapoi, Pines, Kairaki to red zoning, and that's about 2,000 people, and it's a pretty tough time for that part of our community. And a lot of that growth has simply replaced those houses that we've lost.
Mayor Ayres says the hardest part of the district's growth has been congestion. Commuters bumper to bumper at times along the Northern Corridor. Earlier this year, a $10 million commuter train was deemed too expensive.
I think a lot of people are disappointed. But I can see why the decision was made, and it wasn't probably going to work as a temporary solution.
1,048 homes were red zoned in the district, with 36 of those deciding against accepting the Crown's offer. The District Council always maintaining a strong relationship with the Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Authority.
It's always been good. They're a government department. Sometimes they don't move as fast as we would like, but that's, I guess that's what you have to live with.
Mayor Ayres is planning to see the rebuild of the McAdory District through, while he still has 2 years left of his second term as Mayor. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
In 3 days' time, Jerry Brownlee will be celebrating 4 years as the Earthquake Recovery Minister. Marcus Gibbs spoke to him about the highs and lows of being the man in charge of the rebuild.
Jerry Brownlee, Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Minister. The last 4 years have seen the minister lead the rebuild after the earthquakes wiped out thousands of homes and buildings, causing widespread damage across Canterbury. Labour's Clayton Cosgrove may want his job, but the minister has no intentions of handing over the reins anytime soon.
My goal for the future would be to see the job done.
Jerry Brownlee was first appointed as the Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Minister 3 days after the September 2010 earthquake. The role gave Brownlee special powers in supervising and coordinating central government, local government and the private sector in rebuilding Canterbury. He was faced with a tough job, but the worst was yet to come.
I think you've got to remember that September 4 was an event that was largely manageable. It was the complications that came and the exacerbation of the problem from February 22nd that's really put us into such a huge challenge.
The Labour Party and the Greens have been extremely critical of Brownlee's performance as minister, but the Prime Minister is naturally a fan. He wants Brownlee to stay in the role after the general election if National retains power.
I sleep pretty comfortably. I know that not everyone will think I should, but that's the way it is.
Red zoners who didn't want to leave their homes, the quake outcasts and other disgruntled residents have sometimes voiced their frustrations in the forms of protests.
There's been a lot made of various disagreements and other things along the way, but I just characterise that as passionate Cantabrians having a robust discussion about what the future was to be.
Brownlee once received flack after calling residents carpers and moaners, and this plaque appeared on a Christchurch bench late last year, dedicated to the minister. How much of that fazed him? The answer, not a lot.
Well, yeah, but you look at why people are angry, and there's always a reason for that, and they've got to vent somewhere, I suppose.
Brownlee says part of the job is making tough decisions.
I've always tried to look at the broadest horizon, to think about what was best in the long term. Sometimes you do make unpopular decisions, but I've got to tell you, you look at other disaster zones around the world and it's lack of decision making that holds them back.
Those decisions have sometimes been controversial, but the minister has felt they needed to be made for the city to move on.
Having to tell initially 5,000, eventually nearly 9,000 people that their properties were no longer totally suitable for residential living, it's pretty hard. It's not something that anyone would want to do willingly.
The Minister yesterday announced the first step in winding down Sarah. He plans for the Christchurch City Council to take over control of the rebuild within 2 years' time. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Coming up, a look at major developments in the city centre.
Kids television is right here on CTV. Tune in every Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. for an exciting range of fantastic kids programming. Join in with all the fun Saturday mornings from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on CTV.
Welcome to Caltex Redwood. We're a family-owned business proudly supporting our local community. We're open 24/7 for fuel and shop goods, and we have an amazing team of people ready to help you. Save at least 6 cents per litre using AA Smart Fuel cards. We also offer great value on our LPG bottle fills. We have a full workshop and Bridgestone Tyre Centre. Our mechanics and tyre technicians will get your car sorted. Caltex Redwood. We're just down from St Bede's on Main North Road. Caltex Redwood. What drives you?
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the air gun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring moving company.
Oi! Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to Carpet Kingdom. At Carpet Kingdom we stock a massive range of carpets and we're also the largest vinyl stockist in the South Island. And not only do we have an excellent range in store, but you can purchase our stock online. We offer free measuring quotes, we have our own installation team, we ship nationwide, so come on down and see us at Carpet Kingdom. 312 Wilsons Road in Waltham, just off Brougham Street, or visit us online at carpetkingdom.co.nz.
Loose Lips is a new woman-only weekly chat show made for Cantabrians where nothing is sacred and no topics are out of bounds. Loose Lips starts Thursday the 29th of May at 8:30 CTV.
A special Christchurch City Council meeting was held today to mark the anniversary of the September earthquake. At it, the City Council approved the Queen Elizabeth II Park as the site for the new Eastern Sport and Recreation Centre. Joelle Bautista has the story.
An important moment for Eastern Christchurch residents. The QE2 facility suffered extensive earthquake damage beyond repair and was demolished in 2012. The decision made at the Christchurch City Council meeting today is one the residents in the East have been waiting for. The full Earthquake Recovery Committee was held in New Brighton, symbolically for the September 4th anniversary, the day the first earthquake struck Christchurch. Christchurch Mayor Leanne Dalzell says before it was damaged in the earthquakes, QE2 was an extremely important hub for the East. $30.5 million has been allocated to the Recreation Centre from the 2012-2013 annual plan and the now 3-year plan. The Christchurch Earthquake Appeal Trust have also put $6.5 million towards the project for the water attractions at the facility. Burwood Pegasus Community Board Chair Andrea Cummings says identifying QE2 as the preferred site for the new facility was a truly community-led process. The decision is subject to change if the geotechnical investigation determines the land unsuitable. The estimated costs and timelines will be reported back to the Christchurch City Council by April next year. Joelle Bautista, CTV News.
And staying with council news, Leanne Dalzell has been in the unique position of spending the last 4 years first as the local MP for Christchurch East, one of the city's most badly affected areas, and now as the Mayor of Christchurch City. Marcus Gibbs has the story.
It's 4 years since the September 2010 earthquake, but how much progress has been made rebuilding Christchurch and other parts of Canterbury?
There's still a long way to go, and there's a long way to go for a lot of people. So we've got many people who are now resolved and they're happily getting on with their lives. There are other people who you'd have to describe as completely stuck.
In 4 years, the Mayor has switched roles completely. She left her job as the MP for Christchurch East, running for and then winning the mayoralty.
The support that I got to become the Mayor of Christchurch didn't just come from the East, but that it was right across the city, that people felt that I was, not pushing any particular barrow. I was just working with the people.
The Mayor believes the announcement that Sarah will start winding down at the start of next year is a compliment to the council's hard work.
I don't regret for 1 minute making the choice that I did, and standing up for the city is what I believe I should be doing, and I believe that the government has now confirmed that they see that the council's got their confidence and is able to play a much bigger role in the recovery.
Her predecessor, Sir Bob Parker, clashed with the Earthquake Recovery Minister from time to time, and before Leanne Dalzell became Mayor, she was quite vocal about his performance. Now she needs to work together with him for the good of the city.
Well, I think that we've both worked really hard to address what could have been a difficult relationship, and we have made it work. And I think both of us have been prepared to basically put a line in the sand and say that was that role, this is this role, and we've got the interests of the city at heart.
The previous council consisted of councillors that didn't always work well together. This time around, things seem to have changed for the better.
I think that the fact that we haven't had, one group of councillors fighting another group of councillors on the front page of the paper, sort of day in, day out, I think that's the feedback that I get from the public, is that I've got a very good team around me, and that makes all the difference in the world.
Next month, the Christchurch City Councillors will mark 1 year in office, though there's no time to celebrate when there's still work to do. The council's staring down a large financial black hole, and the consenting department needs to become accredited again. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
And it's not just the public sector and local government who have work still to do. In early January, CTV took a walk around the central city with major property developer Anthony Goff. Goff criticised the investors whose empty buildings weren't being repaired or demolished. Today marks the 4th anniversary of the September 2010 earthquake, and as Marcus Gibbs reports, Christchurch's CBD is still littered with empty buildings.
Anthony Goff is flabbergasted. The flamboyant developer and rich lister can't believe that some Christchurch buildings haven't been touched since the February 2011 earthquake. His development is restarting after a short break, but across the road no plans have been announced for the stretch of buildings. 8 months ago, Anthony Goff and I took a similar walk through the city. It's interesting to compare what is still here now and what has since been demolished.
I'm getting a sense of deja vu. Just listen, we've stood here before, nothing's changed. Hey, we're 3.5 years on from the February earthquake, absolutely nothing has changed. They still look a mess, they're still standing, and I don't believe this closest building is actually repairable, but why isn't the owner getting on and getting it down and getting it clear? It's shameful.
It's not just Hereford Street either. Within the central city boundaries, 761 commercial buildings have been demolished. However, there are still another 130 commercial buildings that have only been partially removed and 60 buildings that haven't been repaired or knocked down. And it's these buildings that are frustrating Anthony Goff.
From Colombo Street to Manchester Street on Hereford Street, there's only really one building that's open, that's Avonmore College. Everything else is closed or demolished or half demolished, like the building here behind you, which is the old Te Wapuna house. It's half down, but not fully down. And I asked the question, did they sort of get lost on demolition, or what happened?
A few metres down from his Oxford Terrace development is the Avonmore Tertiary Institute. It was repaired and reopened 2 years ago, but across the road this former Korean restaurant still has food packets and drinks on the tables.
If we look in here, we still have the food on the tables.
It's a snapshot of the earthquake's destruction. A discarded high heel lies in the middle of the floor, where its owner left as she fled.
Still exactly as it was 3.5 years ago. Nothing's changed. Isn't that dreadful? It's time somebody got on and actually looked at it.
Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Minister Jerry Brownlee disputes that any food or drink would be left on the tables more than 3.5 years since these buildings were abandoned. However, he does think it's time for some investors to make a decision about their commercial properties.
Well, they really should be getting on with it. Firstly, I'd say that we ran a huge putrescible waste program after February 22nd, so I'd be very surprised if there's still food sitting on the tables. And I'd just remind Anthony that he was one of the people originally telling us we were going too fast and demolishing too much. So you're never going to get it completely right.
How many years do you really need to sort your insurance out? Sometimes I think some owners have run away and gone overseas and have lost interest.
Cathedral Square was a popular tourist destination before the earthquakes. Now it's mostly abandoned. The Central City Library, a Christchurch City Council-led project, will be developed by 2017. And the Anglican Diocese is planning to build a new cathedral. But what about this hotel?
So what's happening with the Millennium?
Well, we'd love to know. It's a hotel. It doesn't seem to be terribly badly damaged. No broken windows. Very nice hotel in its day, but nothing's happened.
The Millennium Hotel is a leased property. It was last reported that an agreement hadn't been reached between the insurers and the Japanese landlord. It's remaining closed for the foreseeable future. There is progress happening within the city. There are still cups on the tables inside this Gloucester Street cafe, but soon the block will be demolished and a new convention centre will be built on the site.
And I think a lot of people don't realise just what a positive thing a new convention centre will be for Christchurch. It's a major pull of business people who arrive here. They spend a lot of money and it's great for the city. So really looking forward to this, and we can see it's actually happening here now.
In January, a row of bars sat on this Manchester Street site, but the CCDU has since demolished them.
Over here, this is actually part of the frame. Manchester Street, we used to have buildings all down here. They've all come down and they're clearing them away. Great progress has been made by Sarah. I think that's a real tribute to them. Fortunately, there's a few owners on the other side of the road have gone to sleep on us again. They need a little bit of a shovel on, but I dare say they'll get there in the end.
4 years on from the first of the earthquakes, a city is still rebuilding. It's not an overnight job, and as we're seeing, it's still going to take a lot of time. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Extraordinary images, aren't they, to think that there are still buildings with food and even clothing items that were abandoned when the earthquake struck. Well, still to come, your regional weather.
The mission statement of Red and Black Sport is always to bring a voice to achievers in sport, be it Canterbury, New Zealand or internationally. We'll continue to do that here on CTV with Red and Black Sport. Don't miss it every week.
Action Removals, offering short or long-term storage facilities, full packing services, comprehensive rates, all fully insured and with 6 vehicle sizes to choose from. Earthquake repairs? Action Removals pack, move, store and return your valuable possessions stress-free. Action Removals, a family business that has been operating in Christchurch for over 10 years. Action Removals, your one-stop removal service on time, every time. 0800 222 526.
Undergone home renovations? Looking for that special something to complete a room? Look no further than the Hitching Post. Their extensive range ensures you can find that special something. From plasma cut metalwork to candles, artwork, weather vanes, or even a customised gate. So come on down to the Hitching Post, 722 Marshland Road.
Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to Carpet Kingdom. At Carpet Kingdom we stock a massive range of carpets and we're also the largest vinyl stockist in the South Island. And not only do we have an excellent range in store, but you can purchase our stock online. We offer free measuring quotes, we have our own installation team, we ship nationwide, so come on down and see us at Carpet Kingdom. 312 Wilsons Road in Waltham, just off Brougham Street, or visit us online at carpetkingdom.co.nz.
Southern News Week is an Otago-based news bulletin. Produced locally in Dunedin, it's your chance to catch up on everything that's happening in the community. Southern News Week, Saturday at 6:30 p.m. and repeated Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on CTV.
Time to check out your regional weather.
Kia ora Canterbury, here's your region's weather. First in Timaru, Tamuka and Geraldine, 14 degrees today. Methven slightly cooler on 13, with Ashburton and Rakaia hitting 14 degrees. Tarfield, Leeston and Ralston had the region's low of 12 degrees. The sun wasn't shining in Lincoln and Christchurch today, hitting 12. Over in Akanoa, they had a mild day on 12. Rangiora, Kaipui and Amberley, they hit a high of 13 degrees today. Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot had one of the region's highs on 14 degrees. And up the top in Kaikoura, they hit 13 today. But what's in store for tomorrow? In Timaru, chilly and rather dull, with heavy cloud all day and little wind, hitting 5 degrees overnight and a high of 10 degrees. In Ashburton, mostly cloudy with cold temperatures and light winds, 5 degrees overnight and a high of 10. Christchurch, cloudy with some light rain or drizzle at times, becoming cold with moderate southwesterlies. 5 degrees overnight with a high of 10 degrees. In Kaikoura, overcast and cold with some light rain at times. Expect moderate southeasterlies with an overnight low of 5 and a high of 10 degrees. And in other areas around the region, Tamuka and Geraldine cloudy with a high of 10, Methven 9 degrees and Rakaia a high of 10. Darfield, Leeston, Ralston and Lincoln, showers with a high of 9 degrees. Over in Akanoa, showers throughout the day with a high of 9. Rangiora, Kaipui and Amberley, a low of 5 and a high of 9. Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot, showers for most parts of the day with a high of 9. And looking ahead for the rest of Canterbury, fine with sunny periods increasing on Saturday, but some cloud remaining. Cold with moderate southerly or southwesterly winds are expected, along with frosts developing at night. Mostly fine and sunny on Sunday with light northeasterly winds. A period of cold southwesterly winds and cloud is expected on Monday, clearing late in the day with frosts on Monday night. Fine and sunny on Tuesday with light northeasterly winds. Fine with high cloud increasing on Wednesday and moderate northeasterlies. And that's all for your region's weather. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
And that's CTV News for Thursday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.